get from here to here, we have to be willing to let go and surrender 100%. We have to be willing to lose everything. Everything. It's only when you're willing to lose everything will everything be available to you. But it's one of the most excruciating things to do because we don't like losing things. We're an accumulating society. We like to acquire and hold on to things and keep them. Some people like to collect things. Some people like to have more and more cars, more and more money, more and more bigger apartments, houses that are more expensive. We like to accumulate. If I own a lot of things, I'm more important. If I have a lot of experience, I'm more important. But in addition to getting attached to those things we're proud of, we also get attached to the things we're not so proud of. So think about what some of your insecurities are that you still identify with. So for me, one of mine in the past has been, there might be a tendency in my relationships to be an unhealthy dynamic where I was giving more than I was receiving. And I was identifying with this dynamic, this pattern, and trying desperately to fix it, to resolve it, and having difficulty, and then finding that the next relationship is just another form of that coming up again. I'm like, I thought I dealt with that. I thought that when I got rid of that person, that I would get a new person and my life would be different, magically change, right? No, I repeated it, the same pattern, the next time around. So identifying your patterns and your habits in your lives as you go through from birth, through school, through jobs, or whatever your particular role is. If you're a parent, having a kid, and then watching that kid grow up. You know, there's so many different ways that we live our lives, and so many different ways that we define ourselves. And any way that we define ourselves, any way we talk about ourselves, all of that is a false identity, all of it, because anything that can be uttered is limited already by the vocabulary of human language. Human being the key word. Language is in itself limiting. And as long as we realize that, that actually gives us a little bit of something to work with. And that's what this tool is intended to do, is to help you actually identify what are those triggers that for me are important. So what are the things that about me that I am attached to, that I want to let go of? And then help you to let go of that so that your true self emerges. It's not over there. It's not out there. The true self isn't up there or over there, over there. It's in here. It's inside. It's already who we are. It's the only thing that we are. But to get to that, we have to be willing to lose everything else. We have to be willing to shed all of those illusory layers around us that we have accumulated over our lives for whatever reason, to eliminate fear, to feel loved, to feel accepted, to feel validated, to feel connected. We have to be willing to lose all of that and have faith that what remains is who we really are. Anything that can be written on a piece of paper is limiting. It limits it right there by the very act of writing it down. So once we limit ourselves in trying to write something down or verbalize, hi, I'm Kristin, blah, 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 what happens? We start to build habits up around that communication, that transmission, that expression of limitation over time until it becomes a habit. You start building up a habit, a pattern, you start to attach to it, and over time what happens? Because we're linked to the time-space continuum in this human expression of consciousness, what happens? We start to think that's who we are. I am that pattern, I am that limitation, I am that piece of paper, right? When I ask, who are you? The question itself is misleading, isn't it? I'm saying you, as if you are a separate being. Who are you connotes separation. Who are you? You're different than me. What are you going to say to connect to me? You are not me, I am not you. We are not one, we are separate individuals. Therefore, I can ask you, who are you? And you can answer me, I am this, I am that. And I'll say, oh, well, I am this and I am that. Hello, nice to meet you. And if we're lucky, we'll both say something similar and we'll find a connection. Hi, I'm from Ohio. Me too. Wow, we're connected. We invent limiting ways to connect, to deal with the limitations that we set up in the first place. And we're all excited because you're from Ohio too. Wow, that's so cool. I'm amazed. I'm so happy to meet you. Which, who really cares? But we're so desperate to connect. We'll take anything we can get, even if we're connecting on an illusory limitation that we both have set up with and identified with over time, historically, in such a way that it has become a part of me and it has become a part of you. So we're connecting based on false identity. We have the same false identity. Awesome. Does identifying with being intelligent make me feel better about myself? Does it make me feel better than other people? If I'm not dating and I feel insecure about that, does that make me feel worse? I'm not as good as other people because I'm single? Those are the questions that are going to help you uncover what are your triggers, because wherever the triggers are, that's where your attachments are. And once you identify those attachments, you can own them. And as soon as you own them, you can change them. And don't let anyone tell you you can't. You know, even the people that we grew up with and told us, you are this, you are that, you are the other, all our lives. Maybe they were criticisms, maybe they were limitations boxing us in all our lives. Maybe in our current job, they're boxing us in, telling us, you are this, you are that, you are this, you are that. You need to be more of this and less of that. And at some point, a lot of us internalize that. And then we start to do the self-talk. And then some of us can't sleep at night because we just have the self-talk. You are this, you are that, blah, blah, blah. You're not enough of this, you're not enough of, right? We get attached to those negative messages. Why do we get attached to those negative messages? Some people have more of the mental thoughts, the negative self-talk. Some people have more of the feelings, like I don't feel good about myself. It's more of that type of thing. Some people have physical problems. They just can't seem to get well. Or there's a pain that just won't go away. And they get attached to the pain, and the pain becomes them. And we want to label the pain. We want to label everything. Why do we want to label things? We like limitations. Why do we like limitations? Comfort. Yes. Isn't that insane that we find comfort in limiting ourselves? We find comfort in attaching to false identities? Doesn't that sound backwards? Yes, we're surviving. But how can you be spiritual and in survival mode at the same time? That is like the fundamental human dilemma, right? So let's start with something a little easier. I'm a big fan of start small and easy and safe. Start with something that isn't going to activate or trigger that ego, that false self that thinks it's real, and we keep resuscitating it, making it pretend to be alive. Human intelligence. Intelligence is defined in human terms. Divine intelligence. There is no need to even use the word intelligence, because we are all one. We are all an extension of that beautiful consciousness. Divine mind is the only intelligence.